Greetings, friends. As I was preparing to record this message for you today, I learned that a number of service members in our nation's armed forces have been killed in a pair of explosive attacks in Kabul. This is just the latest atrocity to be reported out of the humanitarian crisis that's taking place in Afghanistan. Of course, we've also been hearing terrible reports of people being swept away along with their homes right off their foundations in eastern Tennessee's floods. Meanwhile, the images from Haiti following the recent deadly earthquake reveal the massive destruction that the people there have suffered. And this is all in addition to the wounds that we've experienced in Fulton and Callaway County this week when we learned of two lives that had been cut short in an act of senseless violence. With so much death and destruction around us, our impulse may be to feel anger. But then in the letter of James, the author says to us, "Your anger does not produce God's righteousness." Though these words were written to different people, under different circumstances in a different place and time, there is wisdom in these words that we need to hear too. When we see the destruction that results from the evil of humans' hearts, or even from the chaos of natural disasters, our call is not to feel angry. Our call is to get active. The epistle writer goes on to tell us that we are to be doers of the word and not merely hearers who deceive themselves. If we come to church and hear the gospel, but then do nothing to act upon the good news in our own lives, then our religion is worthless. Instead, when we are faced with all of the damage and the destruction of this world, we are to be those that get active as we work to build up the kingdom for the sake of all God's people. As we're preparing to gather for this week's worship service, please read these scripture passages. From the 7th chapter of the Gospel according to Mark, verses 1 through 23. And from the letter of James, we're reading the first chapter in its entirety. Following your reading, I encourage you to reflect upon these questions. Have you experienced the pitfalls of failing to be quick to listen, slow to speak, or slow to anger? And how does the law of liberty free us? And how does it bind us? I welcome you to share your thoughts with one another in the comments below. Should you prefer to share your reflections directly with me, I hope that you'll send an email to me using the address which is at the bottom of the screen. Please remember that we always hope to be able to gather together for worship, whether it's in person in the sanctuary here at the First Presbyterian Church of Fulton each Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m., or you can join us online by viewing our webcast, which is on our YouTube channel. The videos of our service are also posted to our YouTube channel following the live service, so that you can view them at another time of your choosing. Friends, I celebrate the blessing that we share in being able to gather for worship and to explore God's message for our lives. Until we're gathered together again, may grace and peace be yours in abundance. Bye-bye.